Thank you, Chair. Chair, just as an aside, not all white people look the same and think the same. It happened to have been Mr. Chris Hutton, my colleague here, who asked you that the chair should not speak for 20 minutes. But I did happen to agree with that because we as members should have the right to have enough time to speak. But in seriousness, Chair, I'm holding here in my hands a file which contains the reports, the legacy reports, since 2015 of what had been told to the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, also the current Chief's predecessor, and the various ministers, that the SANDF is not in a position to carry out an offensive mandate in any country in Africa, that the SANDF is collapsing. Now, it's taken a year for the Chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Mponya, to come to our committee. We've asked many times, he never dignified us with his presence. It had to take 14 of our SANDF soldiers to die for him to come here. We told the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, the SANDF is collapsing. We cannot carry out an offensive mission in the DRC. Here are my three questions. Why are you Minister? And why is the President lying to us about the nature of the operation that we have in the DRC? It is not a peacekeeping mission. It is an offensive mission, and it is defined as such by the SADC. Therefore, you knew that our soldiers were going to be shot at, and you knew that you're sending our young men into the DRC to die in the killing fields of the DRC. You did not have the ammunition, you did not have the supplies, you do not have the money to have sent them, but you sent them to die for the mineral wealth that is being looked after, the mines that are being looked after, that belongs to Cyril Ramaphosa, his family, and his friends. On all sides, we have a defense of the mineral wealth rather than for the people of the DRC. That is my first question. My second question, Minister, and the Chief of the South African National Defence Force. When are you going to bring our soldiers back? Are you bringing them back now? And explain to us how you are going to bring them back. And my third question, why do you disrespect us? And why do you disrespect the South African nation with this pitiful little report that contains hardly any information, that doesn't address the issues that needed to be addressed here this afternoon? Stop disrespecting us. And lastly, when are you Minister? No, I'm just pointing to the Minister. Okay, let me leave my hands down. When are you Minister? You get threatened easily, Minister. When are you Minister? And when are you Chief of the South African National Defence Force resigning? You should resign today. And when are the rest of your generals who were playing golf at Copperleaf while our soldiers were dying? When are they going to resign? Those are my questions. I expect answers.
There is a point of order. There is a point of order. Point of order, yes.
What is the point?
Chair,
one earns respect.
we cannot
One doesn't
allow
demand
a member
respect, Minister.
To what?
Your behavior
pointing
doesn't earn
someone.
respect.
No. Chair, don't allow this.
Honorable members,
Because we're able to point others also.
we started the meeting by agreeing that the issue we are here to discuss is non-partisan. Secondly, we agreed that we are going to conduct ourselves in a manner that behoves a country that has lost 14 soldiers. I suggest that we continue to do that in honor of our men who died in the DRC. And so I suggest that we conduct ourselves in that fashion, that the president, this meeting is a meeting on behalf of Parliament. The protocols of respect that Parliament confers on each member still apply here. And so the president must still remain the president, Mr. Ramaphosa, or honorable president, or honorable Ramaphosa, so that we don't raise tempers unnecessarily. It then doesn't assist us to get the answers that we are looking for. Honorable Hattie.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Let's get this out of the way. The only person in this meeting who initially referred to the fact that this is a peacekeeping mission is a minister. Now, we all know it's not. The peacekeeping portion of the narrative that goes out is to appease the nation. What did the president order? He ordered to support and assist the government of the DRC in its effort to neutralize illegal armed groups and negative forces in the conflicted areas of the DRC, thereby ultimately restoring peace and security. Ultimately. The order is to go down, hunt down, kill and disarm these people. That's offensive. So I would like to know who advised the minister that this is a peacekeeping mission. And I suppose the president in signing this order was also advised the same. So I would like to know that in the light of our ill-preparedness for what we had to face in the DRC, no air support, no close air support, very limited logistical support, very limited medical support, and that's why we sit in this situation where we are today. So I would like to know, I would like to get some comment on the lack of our resources, our support that we have exposed our soldiers to in the DRC, and then also who advised the minister and the president that this is a peacekeeping mission, or did it arrive, did it grow somewhere, was born somewhere in a smoke-filled room? I don't know. I would like to get an answer. Secondly, the vague report about the United Nations, MONUSCO will negotiate the repatriation of the deceased. We certainly, Chairperson, we certainly cannot live with that in this committee. We are surrounded by M23. We are in an area controlled by the M23. We are limited to our bases. We cannot go out there with arms. We are, in fact, hostages in an area. We cannot get to our soldiers. We cannot resupply them. We cannot get in there with any air support, nothing. We rely on M23, and we have to thank them for water and food. And for them, we have to thank them for not retaliate for us killing so many of them, our brave soldiers. So I want to know, what is the plan? We can't ask the Secretary General of the United Nations to come and explain to us how will our deceased will be repatriated, what will happen to our wounded, what will happen with our personnel. We're surrounded.